Greetings to all of you, wherever you're listening from. I am Commander Bimal Raj, a TEDx speaker, internationally certified trainer and coach, mindset mentor, and a teen and parents coach. In this podcast, The Awkward Talks, I bring you topics that are usually considered taboo or are not discussed freely but are some of the most pivotal things that we should be talking about. I'm your husband. You owe me your body. I was attacked on the very first night. My husband forcefully stripped me naked and forced me to have sex with him, even after I begged him not to do so. He gagged my mouth, penetrated me and came inside me. He said, "I will rape you as long as you're here. Until you leave or divorce me, this body is mine." Well, I sincerely hope and pray that none of you listening to this had to ever undergo anything like this. Today I'll be talking about a topic that is rarely talked about. It is about marital rape. Now, before I get into the topic, I have a sincere request to you. If you like this episode, do share this with as many people as you can. Please know that 99% of these cases never come out because they just refuse to discuss it with anyone else. This might help many people out there. Well, coming back to the topic, I was watching a movie on Amazon Prime where a girl was raped by her boyfriend prior to her marriage. The movie captured the fear, helplessness, and all the emotions associated with it so well that I could see the pain that she was going through. That's when I realized that there was a bigger evil that needs to be talked about, and that's marital rape. Now, what exactly is marital rape? It refers to the act of forcible sexual intercourse by a man with his wife without her consent. Now, while rape is a serious crime in India, unfortunately, marital rape is not illegal. Section 375 of the Indian Penal Code, which criminalizes rape, makes an exception for sexual intercourse or sexual acts by a man with his own wife, the wife not being under 15 years of age. This means that if a husband forcefully has sex with his wife older than 15 years, how many of the times it is not considered a criminal offense in India, unfortunately. In 2011, a survey in India revealed that 1 in 5 men have forced their wives to have sex. More than 2/3 of Indian married women between the ages 15 and 49 years claimed that they have been beaten or forced into sex by their husbands. We may have conquered the moon, that too with a team that had some brilliant women handling important aspects of the mission. However, I personally feel that we are very far from protecting women in a place where they're supposed to feel the safest. It is not just about their safety, but it takes away her fundamental right to autonomy of her own body. It strips her of right to life, dignity and freedom of choice. All this just because of a clause that presupposes consent under the purview of a legal marriage. This means that a wife has given an implied or default consent to the husband for sex anytime he wants, just because she is married to him. The implied consent theory was given by Chief Justice Sir Matthew Hale in 1736. It said, "The husband cannot be guilty of a rape committed by himself upon his lawful wife, for by their mutual matrimonial consent and contract, the wife has given up herself in this kind unto her husband, which she cannot retract." Basically, according to this doctrine, the legal rights of a woman were subsumed by her husband's upon marriage. Now, Poland was the first country to explicitly criminalize marital rape in 1932. Australia, under the influence of the second wave of feminism in 1971, was the first common law country to pass reforms and criminalize marital rape. Since the 1980s, several countries have criminalized marital rape, like South Africa, Ireland, Israel, Ghana, etc. Over the past 2 decades, several Scandinavian countries and the communist bloc have followed suit. In 1984, all 50 states of the United States made marital rape a crime, and in 2002, Nepal also criminalized marital rape. Now let's talk about our Indian culture. Interestingly, in Vedic culture, women were treated as equal to men, and there was no discrimination on the basis of gender. In fact, women were honored by society and considered women as Janani, which means mother. Even in Hindu scripts, women are considered as Devi. They used to enjoy their full basic rights where they were free to receive education. The wives of the rishis could take part in spiritual activities with their husbands, and they were known as ardhangini or better half. These days, this is more like a party line. During that period, women got to live equal life just like men used to live. However, with the passage of time, their position and stature got eroded, and various social evils like sati, child marriage, forced marriage, devadasi system, and many more got introduced. There has been an unprecedented erosion of their social status continuously. In many parts of our country, which incidentally is referred to as Bharat Mata, the conditions are extreme. In these places, women are not even treated as human beings with their rights and independence. They are considered as the property of their father and after marriage of their husband. All these evils gave birth to the heinous act of marital rape as well in India. And trust me, it is not just limited to remote areas of our country. Now, as per Hindu scriptures, marriage is a revered institution, a sacred bond that brings two individuals together for their joint pursuit of dharma, which is duty, ardha, which is possessions, kama, which is sexual desires, and moksha, which is salvation. At least in theory, this is what marriage is. We do brag about how solid our Indian value system is and how connected our families are compared to the West. The proof that we give towards this is the low divorce rates in India compared to the rest of the world. We are so consumed by family structures that even when a husband violates his legally wedded wife, we refuse to see it as a crime or even a serious issue that needs to be dealt with. Now, why does this heinous crime happen within closed doors? First and the most important is ego. One of the main reasons for this is to stroke a man's ego. When there is a lot of disagreement that happen between a husband and wife, the man tries to assert his superiority by forcing himself on his wife. When he destroys her privacy by stripping her, insulting and demeaning her, somehow the sense of superiority and control boosts his fragile ego. Another reason is sexual differences between the couple. Now, women may not feel like having sex for reasons that she may not even be able to explain to her husband. Maybe she has had a history of abuse in childhood that she doesn't want to share with her husband. Unfortunately, a lot of men consider being denied sex by their spouse as an insult, and they find it difficult to handle. And if this rejection happens multiple times, they may resort to forcefully getting what they want to avenge their humiliation. Now, what are the effects of marital rape on women? Now, remember that we are talking about your spouse who is married to you, who is supposed to spend the rest of their life with you. And marital rape has severe and long-lasting consequences for them because of the simple fact that the rapist is none other than their husband, with whom she had expected to spend a lifetime of happiness. They are likely to get traumatized both physically as well as psychologically. Now, the physical effects of marital rape include injuries to private organs, bruises, torn muscles, lacerations, fatigue, fractures, etc. And if the act was a violent one, they may suffer from blackened eyes, broken bones, and wounds inflicted by some sort of weapon. The psychological effects are far worse than the physical ones, and some of the short-term psychological effects are shock, fear, stress, suicidal tendencies, etc. And they may also experience extreme sadness, PTSD, low self-esteem, rape trauma syndrome, as well as sexual instability, inaccessibility, or even malfunction. Now, irrespective of what the stature of a man is or which class of society he belongs to, let us look at the kind of men who would stoop to resort to marital rape. First is men with low self-esteem. Many times men with low self-esteem don't get their way in the outside world. They may get pushed around by others of higher stature. These people get back their self-esteem and a sense of control on others by forcing their spouses into submission, especially through sex. Next, men from abusive families. They see how their parents were with each other, and that has a big impact on how they see their spouses. Maybe they saw their fathers abuse their mothers and they are carrying it forward. Maybe they were close to their fathers and the mothers abused their father, and now they are taking revenge for their father. Next, men who are unemployed. Here also it is self-esteem that comes into play. They may have gone through a lot of failures and rejections on the job front. Unfortunately, even though he may get angry at them, there is nothing much that he can do to them. Now, when his wife also rejects him sexually, he may consider it as the ultimate insult. But in this case, he retaliates by taking what he wants forcefully. Next, men with inflated masculinity. Some boys are brought up with the belief system that women are beneath them and they are meant to serve the all-powerful men. These men also cannot stand any kind of refusal, especially from those whom he considers beneath them. Now, what can we do about all this? Unfortunately, Indian judiciary is split in their opinion about criminalizing marital rape. They say that this will become an easy way for women to exploit their husbands. While that is definitely one viewpoint that needs to be considered, I personally think that a law criminalizing marital rape will go a long way in helping a lot of women who are suffering in silence. Currently, they can't even depend on the judiciary to save them, which is a very sad place to be. More than anything else, if these kind of crimes are to be prevented, we must be proactive from the time we have our children. While it is true that there are women who also abuses their husbands, the numbers would be much lesser. As parents, we need to teach our children about equality in all human beings, respect for other people's likes, dislikes, viewpoints, right to their body, and most importantly about consent. The best way to teach this is to demonstrate all these qualities with your own spouse so that it becomes a part of who they are when they grow up. Now, if you or someone you know is going through anything like this, please reach out to the National Commission for Women Helpline. Even though it is a tricky situation due to the legal stand, you will definitely get help and guidance from there. Talk to your close friends and parents about what you're going through. And in the worst case, if you feel that you're losing your identity and are constantly living in fear, have the courage to walk out of that relationship. Now, this is Commander Bimal Raj, and if you like this podcast and if you feel that this was an important topic to be discussed, please rate it and share this with as many as you can. Please don't forget to click the follow button so that you don't miss any of our episodes. This is Commander Bimal Raj, and I will be back with another awkward talk soon.